Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? Oh my gosh, my camera's crooked, or I'm crooked. All right. Good morning, Vanessa Self. How are you? Hope everybody is fantastic and ready to crank up a Friday. Man, I am so excited for for Friday, for this day. It is going to be a great day. Good morning, Melanie Ortiz. How are you? Y'all, I've got to fix my camera. It's going to bother me. Hang on. Michelle T, good morning. Hope everybody is fantastic. Ready to start this. Good morning, Sherry Kovac. Hey, I like that. Sherry Kovac just puts her name in there. Good morning, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a great day. Already been a great morning. So excited about where we're headed, where we're going, and the little incremental changes that we're making. Man, I'm super excited. I'm back downstairs where I ought to be, shooting videos and doing these things. I don't have my office yet. I'm not sure we're getting an office in our house in Hartwell, but this is pretty good. Good morning, Anna Davis. Good morning. Hope everybody's great. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody had a great day yesterday. We had a great meeting with morning. Top of the morning. I missed your top of the morning, Alex. You used to say top of the morning to you. Top of the morning. That always enjoyed the top of the morning. My leprechaun voice always in my head. That's how I heard top of the morning. So but no, y'all, good morning, man. I'm so excited. Who's that right there? That is Maggie's watching. Hey, Maggie. But that's Millie. It's usually Millie with or is that Maggie? Nope, that's Maggie. Good morning, Mags. Oh yeah, she's back up and going. Y'all say a prayer for Maggie. She had to go back to school on Wednesday and leave my precious little baby granddaughter Halson at home with other people. So y'all say a prayer for her. All you new moms who remember what it was like when you had to leave that baby girl with somebody for the first time and go. She said she's doing good. We saw her last night. She said she's doing good. But y'all say a little prayer, lift her up and give her some strength, because I know I'd have tears in my eyes if I was leaving Halson. That little baby girl is something else. Y'all, have y'all seen how she looks at me? She loves her big dude so much. She really does. I love being a big dude. Y'all, what a great morning, man! I'm telling you, it's Friday. Although y'all know I kind of preached to you guys on. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, send her some love for sure. That'd be. She'd much appreciate that. But she's doing good. Maggie's a trooper, man. Maggie's she's a trooper. She'll be good. She's gonna be good. Man, Friday. I lost my picture. I know I was gonna do that. Hang on a second, y'all. Doesn't that look good up there? Little background love for the old lake country. I got to keep my remote here apparently because I don't want it to go away. So I kind of like it behind me. There you go. I'm gonna be playing with this all day. My wife would be so mad at me right now. She would tell me to quit playing. There we go. So this morning, I was out. Y'all know how this all goes and how this works and what I have to do in the mornings to kind of get myself going. And you know the story and of we do the run in the morning and I take off, and I say it's me and my little monster that tries to stop me from running. But I'm having to change my size, y'all. I'm looking down here for my comments. Me and my little monster go running in the morning. And a lot of times in the mornings when me and my little monster go running, the thing that, I listen to Motiversity. So I listen to a motivational thing as I'm running. And it usually always gives me some insight and gives me a little bit of gas for what I want to talk about during the morning. And man, I'm losing my mind. Chill. No, sorry. It's Friday. It's Friday, and we're full of love. Let me turn the light back on. I've lost my light. It looks like I've never done this before. I thought this was going to be a fantastic morning. I had everything done. I was just a little bit late because I almost had a coffee disaster. But other than that, I was really, really rocking. I thought I was doing really well, but apparently we are struggling. So I usually get this insight right in the mornings, and this insight this morning, and what I was hearing this morning, and it's a resounding message that for you, and that's kind of the title of this morning. All of us live a story, right? You have a beginning, and you have a middle, and you have all the influences in the middle, and then we have an end. And what happens, and you've heard people say, what happens with life is that dash between the beginning and the ending, right? We have a beginning date on that headstone, and we're all done with this thing. We have that headstone, and it's sitting there in the ground, and there's a beginning date and there's an ending date. Our life is that dash in the middle. We all end up at the same spot. We all start at the same spot, but it's that dash in the middle that matters the most. It's the dash in the middle that makes the impact. It's the dash in the middle that is a record of who we were and where we are, what we left behind, what we didn't do, what we did do. All those things are contained in that dash. But in that dash is your story. That dash is your story. That dash is what you did from the time you started until the time you ended. That dash is what you did from the time the first breath of life was breathed into your lungs until the last breath of life leaves your lungs. That dash is your story. Who didn't love a good story? I mean, we all love good stories. We all pay. I mean, actors and actresses make millions of dollars to act out a story. They make millions and millions of dollars. We hold them in high regard because they're able to act out a story that's not theirs, that's someone else's. And the best actors, the ones that win the awards, the ones that win the most money, the ones that progress the best in their careers are the ones who are the best at being someone else for a period of time. You ever thought about that? I contemplated that years and years and years ago when I sort of got unenthralled with Hollywood, and I got unenamored with celebrity. There are very few people I really get starstruck about. Now, Winston Gibbs gets starstruck about Coach Burt's dude Craig, but so there are probably people in my life that if they walked up, I would be starstruck. I don't know who. I'm thinking about who that is. I'm sure there's somebody that I would fanboy over. But when I started to be less enamored with Hollywood, and I started to understand that we pay them that much money, they make that much money for being good at lying. Think about that. Hollywood actors and actresses that are really, really good, the ones that are the best, we pay them billions of dollars for them to pretend to be something they're not. And yet we hold them in such high regard. That you know what? That is a rabbit trail I'm not going to go down. I'm not going down that rabbit trail. So my point is, there's my point to this story, or the point to this, what I'm saying. Your dash, your story. Who's going to be the hero of your story? Because we all love a good story, man. We will sit, eat popcorn. We will sit with our kids, and we will watch this story of this unlikely hero, this regular person, this person who's one of my favorite movies of all times. And I just lost the name of it. Oh my gosh, it's the Will Smith movie where his son's in it. He goes to he ends up being the Wall Street trader. is a super successful stockbroker at the end of that movie. What was the name of that movie? If you know what I'm talking about, put it on there. Put it in the comments. I have just had the most enormous brain flatulence ever. But I love that movie because Will Smith's a great actor. I love that movie because it portrays a guy who's just trying to make it, Pursuit of Happiness. What a fantastic! I remember when I watched that movie, I was going through some really hard times, and a friend of mine said, "Man, you got to watch this movie." And I remember watching that movie with just, y'all know me, I just had tears in my eyes because I can relate to that struggle. I can relate to, I never lived in a bathroom in a subway, but I can relate to being that close to living in a bathroom in a subway. I can relate to that struggle. But that's why we love a good story. We don't like the stories where somebody's born into riches and they're born into everything being perfect and it just gets more perfect for them. And the longer the story goes, we just find that they never make any mistakes and it's just fantastic and it's just awesome and they are just fantastic and it shows us how terrible we are. The reason we love a good story is because somebody, a regular person who comes from nothing, who has nothing, who has the odds stacked against them, stands up, makes a decision, does the hard work, and fights. Kristen Seabolt up before sunrise. My Kristens, I'm going to tell you what, we got two Kristens in this company who are about to be you-know-whats. Hey, Kristen Seabolt. Kristen Ritchie, if you watch this, that's for you. This is for you. I salute you this morning because my girls. So this is the reason we love a good story. The reason we love good stories is because it's somebody, we see somebody. There's a guy named Doug Miller. Doug Miller's from Nashville. Coach Burt talks about Doug Miller a lot. Doug Miller is really, really good. He writes books about storytelling. He writes books and he's really, really good in his coaching program about helping you build your story. Yesterday we talked about explanation of value. Yesterday we talked about your story. We talked about your life. We talked about your past not being a definition, but rather but being a what I say yesterday. It's not a definition. It's your story. It doesn't define you. It allows you to be who you are. It tells the story of who you are. It's not your definition. Your past doesn't define you. So right now, yesterday, we got when y'all Exit Realty Lake Country agents, y'all saw the text message from Kristen Ritchie and man, I'm so super proud. She stood up or maybe sat down. She faced some fears. She dialed phone numbers and did things that she didn't want to do. And when she did that, she felt so accomplished that she sent the group a message and said, "Hey, Aaron would be so proud I did this, this, and this." And she's right. I was proud. She's exactly right. It was fantastic. So the question I have for you this morning, who's going to be the hero of your story? When your story gets told, when they look back at that last day and they tell the story of who you are or who you were, when they tell that story, will they tell the story of you standing up in the face of adversity? Will they tell the story of you standing up, doing a Vanessa Self, stepping off a ledge, stepping off into something and saying, "I'm pushing ahead"? Will they tell the story of all the lives you changed? Will they tell the story, Michelle Tilson, of when you made the decision to come to Exit Realty Lake Country and you made the decision to go be in real estate, when you made the decision to make that change, and now Violet is who she is because of the change that you made? Will they tell that story? Who's the hero of your story? Are you ready to be the hero of your story? Are you ready to stand up in the face of adversity? Y'all, the reason they call the things hard is because what? Why do they call things hard? Not a trick question. Kind of like my question the other day in the sales meeting. What's half of 12? They call things hard because they're not easy. But what makes something hard? What makes something easy? And I want to take some comments right here. What makes something hard? Or if it's easier to answer, what makes something easy? And put your comments in there. I want to see who's awake this morning. Kristen says she's up. She might be up. I want to see if she's awake. Put your comments in there. What makes something hard or what makes something easy? Come on. Y'all, Carrie Leland, y'all see Carrie Leland. I was wondering if Carrie was going to be on here this morning, but she probably worked to the wee hours of the morning doing building a paper mache dragon and paper mache float. They had to build a float for Jack's homecoming. So everybody here? Everybody awake? Anybody awake? Anybody here? Hello, hello. Fear makes things hard. Michelle Tilson says, fear makes things hard. Somebody says to me, something is hard because I don't want to do it. Okay. Level of expertise. That was, see. That's somebody on the page. Hard, not telling a hateful realtor what I think she is. Excuse me, that could be hard. Level of expertise, Alex's level of expertise, willingness to do it. So everybody has a different definition of hard. If I ask Sherry Kovac, hey Sherry Kovac, ask your daughter today, is running 2 miles hard for her? And she'd say, well, no. Her daughter would laugh and she'd kind of give his face. She goes, no. If I ask Aaron Dwyer, hey, Aaron Dwyer is running 2 miles hard, Aaron Dwyer would say, yeah, it is. The same thing. It's the same deal. It's the same exercise. It's the same 2 miles. Sherry Kovac's daughter's 2 miles isn't any shorter than Aaron Dwyer's 2 miles. It's 5,280 feet times 2. Same distance. It's just easier for her. She looks at it differently. Her body's built differently. She's done it longer. She has different levels of experience. And I think Alex is right. Your level of expertise, how many times you've done it in the past? Because I promise you, I asked a question Wednesday in the meeting, and I asked people to raise their hands if you've ever been in a fight. The fear of the fight is worse than the fight. I promise you. The fear of being in a fight, the fear of getting hit in the face is so much different than actually getting hit in the face. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. Getting hit in the face hurts, but the fear of getting hit in the face, once you've been hit in the face, it kind of goes away. You know what to expect. So in your story, so again, I'm going to go back to this. Who's the hero of your story? Who's going to be the one that's going to stand up one day and decide enough is enough? Who's going to be the one in your story who's going to stand up one day and decide there's not anything that I won't do to reach my dreams or desires? Who's going to be the one in your story who's going to get up one morning and decide, I'm not doing this ever again? Who's going to be the one in your story who's going to stand up and finally get to the finish line, look back and say, I did it? Who's going to be the one in your story? Because we all have excuses, man. We all have reasons. We all have tons, buckets, and truckloads full of reasons and excuses why we shouldn't do something. We all have truckloads and buckets full of reasons, excuses why we shouldn't do something. See, that's the human condition. We're not animals. We don't have a lower sense of reason. We have a higher sense of reason. When Coach Burt talks about prey drive, it's super easy for a dog to have prey drive because they can't think their way out of that. Does that make sense? When a dog or an animal has prey drive, they can't reason themselves through that and say, you know what? It's hot outside today. I don't think I'm going to chase that ball today, sir. When the lion wakes up in the morning, he doesn't walk outside of wherever they sleep. I guess lions don't sleep in caves, do they? The lion doesn't wake up and go, boy, it feels like a good day just to lay here. I think I'm just going to hang tight. Man, it's hot out there in the Sahara this morning. I think I'm just going to lay right here. And the gazelle kind of trots by and he goes, hello, Mr. Gazelle. Not feeling like chasing you today. Go on about your business. That's not the way it works. You see, humans lose their prey drive because we have the ability to reason our way out of it. You can feel that stirring in your gut. You feel that desire to go do something big, and then your reasoning kicks in. Little dude kicks in and he says, man, it's Friday. Gosh, dog, you have worked really hard all week long. It's supposed to be nice outside today. Why don't you just go? Why don't you go chill today? And on your calendar, I got this hour of prospecting. I've got this hour of follow up. I need to go knock on these doors today. I need to go see my mom. I need to go visit with my friends. I need to have this lunch with somebody in my dirty dozen. You have all these things scheduled, but you wake up and say, oh, man, it looks like a good day to sit on the porch. And that's what humans do. Imagine the story. And it's the story that's cranking in my head right now, and I guess it just shows my age. But the story that's in my head is Star Wars. I'm not a nerd. Maybe I am a little bit of a nerd, but I'm not a Star Trek nerd. I'm not even really a Star Wars nerd. Like Star Wars doesn't make me stop and watch it when it comes on TBS every Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon at 3. But what if Luke Skywalker had decided the day that he was supposed to go to the Death Star, it just doesn't feel like a good day to do that, y'all. I don't think I want to fly today. I think I'm just going to chill. It's super cold outside. I don't think I'm going to go out there and fight those woolly mammoths today. I'm just going to hang tight right here. Y'all enjoy. What if Rosa Parks, when she sat on the bus and they said, you can't sit back here, ma'am. You need to sit. You got to sit in the back of the bus. What if she said, oh, man, I don't feel like an argument today. You're right, sir. Sorry about that. I'm going to go sit on the back of the bus. What if Paul Revere on his I'm not using that. That's a stupid story anyway, because we heard that didn't really happen like they said it happened. So I'm going to get back out of that one. Think about any amazing feat in history. What if the person who did that woke up in the morning, yawned, and said, today's not the day. I don't think I want the breakthrough today. I don't think I want to invent a light bulb today. Yeah, I don't think I don't want to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling today. Man, that's super hard. I've been on my back for so long. I think I'm just going to chill. I don't feel like painting. Who is going to be the hero of your story? Who's going to be the one that's going to stand up and say, y'all, what makes a story so much better is when there's so much crap they have to get through. Do y'all agree with that? The harder the harder the thing they go through, the worse their situation is, the better the story. We like watching other people struggle. We enjoy watching other people struggle. We enjoy watching other people struggle to a breakthrough. We say we enjoy the breakthrough, but really, I think sometimes in the story, we commiserate with their suffering. We commiserate with, yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, I feel that. Why do you think reality TV is so insanely popular? Because it's supposedly real life people doing real life stuff. We all know it ain't real life stuff, and they're not really following people around. They have stories and scripts and all that stuff staged. So reality TV is not really reality TV, but it's super popular because it allows people to, relate to those people. So on Friday, I'm going to ask you, who's the hero of your story? Who's going to be the hero of your story? What's your dash going to look like? Y'all, yesterday I said, when you start feeling fearful, when you start getting scared, that's just the alarm that you're super close to walking through something that you need to walk through. When you get to that fear spot and that fear starts to overtake you, that's the alarm that you're close to greatness. When that fear alarm sets off, you got to keep going. Because what makes something hard is the perception of it being hard. Once you eliminate the perception of something being hard, it becomes easy. Once you eliminate your perception, your view of something being hard, it becomes easy. I'll use my getting up in the morning, 3:45 in the morning. If I said to you right now, for the next, raise your hand. I want you to raise your hands. I'm going back to Tennessee next week. Raise your hand if you will join me in getting up 5 days next week at 4:45 a.m. If you do it now, you can't raise your hand because you've already gotten to this point. But raise your hand if you're willing to join me next week and get up at 4:45 a.m. Central, 3:45 a.m. 4:45 Eastern, 3:45 Central. Raise your hand, please. I'll wait. Because I'm not gonna wait long. Because typically, when I tell people I get up at 3:45 a.m. When I'm in Tennessee, you know what people's faces do? The same face you're making right now. I'm not doing that. It's that same feeling inside here when I say, "Hey, get up at 3:45 with me." They go, "No." Jagger, I remember Jagger saying, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna get up and run with you at 4 o'clock." And I went, "Buddy, you're gonna run with me at 4 o'clock in the morning." He says, "Yeah, I want to get up and run with you at 4 o'clock in the morning." Cool. That means I've got to wake you up at 3:45, and that means we're on the road running at 4 a.m. And Jagger gets up at 5. I mean, he only gets up an hour later than that. And he said, never mind. Never mind. The hard things become easy when we take away the pain. The hard things become easy when we expose the false identity of something being hard. The hard things become easy when we expose those things to light, when we expose those things to effort. Kristen Ritchie, because she called for sale by owner yesterday, because she had some success on the telephone, she will do it again. Now, she's going to need some encouragement because doing it one day doesn't make it easy. Doing it one day puts her on the path to it being easy. Some of you look at your real estate business. You look at your phone. I wish I had my phone. My phone's my camera. Some of you look at your phone like it's a snake. Some of you look at some of the things that you have to do on a daily basis in your business like it's a snake. The reason Coach Bird talks about pray drive is because he wants to get you to the point that you don't think about the consequences. You just go. You're not concerned with the consequences. You're concerned with the result. When I throw a ball for a dog that's got super high prey drive, he doesn't give a crap what's around him. He just wants to get to the result. He wants to get to the end where that ball is so he can grab that ball and bring it back and do it all again. That's prey drive. That's prey drive. When the ball is thrown, they go after it. They have no concern with the consequences. They have no concern with what's around them. They have one singular purpose, and that's to get that ball. When the lion wakes up, he doesn't stretch. He wakes up, opens his eyes, and his prey drive is activated. And it is game on day. And if a gazelle rolls by, he bounces up and he goes because the lion knows the results at the end of that is he's got to eat. He's got to feed his family. The mama lion knows she's got to bring something back for her baby lions. And so when they wake up, their prey drive is activated. Who's going to be the hero of your story? How can you activate your prey drive to the level that you don't give a crap about the consequences? You don't give a crap about the conditions, where the only thing you care about is the result. TD Jakes this morning as I was running. TD Jakes is a pastor. I love TD Jakes. There's a video that I'm probably going to put on our private Facebook page this morning. But he said something the only way TD Jakes can say it, that really loud, burly voice. When are you going to stop dragging last year into this year? When are you going to stop dragging that same old crap through your story? When are you finally going to let go of all your past hurts, all your past difficulties, all your past results, all your past consequences? When are you going to let that go? Because I promise you, we all have a story. Everybody that watches this video, all of us have a story. We all have reasons to be who we are. We all have reasons to justify what we do or don't do. We all have excuses to justify or to explain why we are a certain way, why we don't do certain things. We all have this little dude on our shoulder who walks around with us every day who says black is black. And then the next day he says black is white. The next day he says everybody should have a choice. The next day he says your choices suck. That is our life. That's what we do. Who is going to be the hero in your story and stand up, pull out a sword, pull out something to fight with, stand there in the face of the challenge, stand there in the face of fear, stand there in the threshold of difficulty and keep walking? Who's going to do it? As much as I would love to do it for you, I can't. Your spouse can't. Your kids can't. Luke Skywalker had to be Luke Skywalker. He had to stand up, learn how to fight with a lightsaber, and learn how to fight and get good enough and figure out who he was so he could go fight Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker had to figure out who he was. He had to get beat down, beat up for him to be the hero of that story. He had to go through crap to get to be on the stage when they put the medal around his neck. He had to almost die multiple times to stand on that stage and receive the reward for the victory. Y'all, we are going to have to go through things. We're going to have to be told no. We are going to have to go through hard times. We are going to have to go through difficulty. We are going to have to be told no. We're going to have to be told no more than once. We're going to have to do the hard things until they become easy. You got to embrace the suck until it doesn't suck anymore. Y'all, this morning, Friday morning, October the 14th of 2022, I ran farther and faster than I have run since I started. Did y'all hear me? October the 14th, 2022. I've been getting up when this started back in August, I think. I didn't write it down, but I think that's about when it started. Back in August, September. Now I'm in my third month. I think that's right. Maybe it was July. Now in my third month. This morning, I ran farther and faster than I've ever run. You keep doing it until the hard things become easier. It wasn't that it was easier, but I guess it was easier, wasn't it? Because I ran farther and faster than I've ever run. Who's going to be the hero in your story? Who needs you to be the hero in your story? Is it your daughter? Is it your son? Is it your mom? Is it your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend? Is it you? Who needs you to be the hero in your story? I'd love to hear that. For y'all looking at this, watching this video this morning, if you're up with us live this morning, I want you to think about that. And this may be a deeper question that you could answer, and it may change. But just sitting here at 7:10 a.m. Eastern time, 6:10 a.m. Central time, who is the hero? Who do you need to be the hero for? Put it in the comments. Have some accountability. Put it in there. Who do you need to be the hero for in your story? Put it in there. I want to see him. Who needs you to be the hero? Who needs to be able to see you fighting back those demons? Who needs to see you pushing? Who needs to see you walk across the stage and get the ribbon put on your neck? Thanks, Michelle. Michelle, got it. I kind of figured that, but I got it. We've actually known that for a while. Who else? Michelle, thank you. Who else? Melanie, who else is on here still? Alex, Anna, who's still on here? Vanessa, my kids. Who else? Who needs you to be the hero? Who needs you to be the hero of your story? Who needs to see you fight? Who needs to see you battle? Who needs to see you struggle? Who needs to see you win? Come on, y'all, put your comments in there. This is big. Good morning, Bailey. Okay, Bailey says myself. I like it. Who else? Y'all put some comments in there. Who needs to see you win? Melanie, myself. Who needs to see you win? Who needs to see you be the hero of your story? Because what I want you to do is when we construct for a new real estate agent, when we construct your business plan, we start at the end and we work backwards, right? We start with the picture. We start with that. Remember the puzzle analogy. We start with the picture. My family, myself. Thank you, Brooke. Brooke's got 3 kiddos and we need to see her mama. Go be a badass. That's what Brooke Watkins needs. Sorry, I don't know if your kids are watching or not, but that's what Brooke needs. But we always build these business plans from the end and we work backwards. We take your picture, we take your puzzle box, and we paint that picture, and then we work backwards. We fill in the blanks. That's how I want your story to be. I want you to start at the end. I want you to start at the chapter. When you write your story, as you become the hero in this book, as you begin to fill in the dash between those 2 dates, as you begin to do the things that you're supposed to do, walking in the way you're supposed to walk, I want you to think about the end first. I want you to write the last chapter first. I want you to feel what Luke Skywalker felt when he walked through that crowd and everybody was cheering. They're playing the music, and he's walking down with Han Solo and Princess Leia and Chewbacca, and they walk up on the stage, and I got chills right now thinking about this, and they put the ribbon and the medal around their necks. That's where I want you to start. I want you to start at the end with the picture of what it looks like when you're the hero of your story. I want you to start at the end. When you get to the end, I want you to paint the picture in your belief. I want you to paint the picture in your vision. I want you to paint the picture in your mind. I want you to feel the emotion of what it feels like. Whatever that is for you, when you recognize you're the hero of your story, and then work backwards. Because some people, it might be $100,000. Some people, it might be $1 million. Some people, it may be, I want to pay off all my debt. Some people may be, I don't want a mortgage. Some people may be, I'll send my kids to private school. Some people that want to be, I want to put $200,000 in the bank so my kid never has to get a student loan. I don't know what it is for you. But start with the end in mind. Start with that picture. Paint the picture. Have the emotion. Tie the emotion to the end, and then work backwards and fill in the blanks. And then decide every single day when you open your eyes, you're the lion, and you're looking around for a gazelle to go kill. Because you know you're not killing the gazelle for the sake of killing the gazelle, but you're killing the gazelle because Daisy didn't need to pay for college. I'm taking care of that for her. When you wake up in the morning and you go kill the gazelle, Rhett and Riggs, boys, y'all don't worry about anything because I'm going to take care of this. When you wake up in the morning, you kiss Violet before she goes to school, and Michelle, you go kill some damn gazelles that day. Because you're going to tell Violet one day, baby, don't you worry about it. You go to school wherever you want to go. You go do whatever you want to go do because we got this taken care of. Y'all. When your desire When your dream becomes a desire, and your desire becomes a belief, and your belief becomes so strong that you'll chase that thing no matter what. We call them God winks. We call them cooperative components. We have all these words, these coincidences. We have all these things where we try to explain what happens when we start going, when our energy changes, when we shift our mindset, when we start to believe deep down in our soul where we're headed. We start to believe and know with an unfettered knowing that this is happening, and we start to walk in that belief. God just puts things in your path to support that. The God winks, the coincidences, the things that start to happen just start to happen. And you're reminded, bam, that's it. Bam, Aaron just said something this morning. Bam, Christy just said something to me today. Bam, this client just said something to me today. Bam, I just got a phone call for a referral. Bam, bam, bam. And all these things start happening. Y'all, we had a phone conversation yesterday. This gets reiterated. It gets reinforced in me every single day. When you're doing what you're supposed to doing, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're walking in the path of your belief, and you're walking in the path of doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you don't care about the consequences because you're concerned with the result. You're only concerned with the end result. You don't care how long it takes. You don't care if the pieces of the puzzle are flipped over. You just know you're working the puzzle. You're going to get the puzzle done. See, I decided I'm going to be the hero of my story. I decided a long time ago, I'm going to be the one that does this. I'm going to be the one that stands up and faces those fears. I'm going to be the one that stands up and faces these challenges. I'm going to be the one who's going to stand up and take the ridicule, take the consequences, take all the stuff that's said. I'm going to be the one that stands up and fights. I decided a long time ago that I was going to do that. That I was going to stop going through my everyday, going through the motions. I was going to stop going through my everyday, just letting life happen to me. I decided a long time ago I was going to make my life happen for me. I want you to hear that. I decided a long time ago I was going to make my life happen for me, not to me. Did y'all hear that? Do you feel the distinction in those two, the 2 and the 4? When you decide to make life happen for you, I promise you, your worlds will line up. So now, all I gotta do is get started. And once I get started and I start to gain some momentum, that momentum just keeps going. That once I get started, I get so super tunnel vision and tunnel focused, and I have this desire to achieve at this high level. Once I get going, my prey drive gets activated, and it's a double-edged sword because I can get super focused and lose all balance, and I can get super focused and lose everything around me. And I don't live in a vacuum. I don't live in a world by myself. I have other people that need me. So I have to balance, like I use golf for an example, because golf is one of those things that I can get super tunnel visioned on, because I want to get back to being really good again. And so golf is one of those things where I would go hit balls every day. I would go putt every day. I would go do things every single day to help my golf game get better. But I would be so singularly focused on that I wasn't making phone calls, that I wasn't doing other things I should be doing. Okay. So I'm going to roll this back to yesterday. We had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I'm not going to say who it is, but they're a real estate agent. They're a real estate agent with another real estate company. They're at a real estate company where, in their own words that came out of their mouth, that come from their heart, it's a real estate company I really don't feel like I fit in. It's a real estate company I really don't feel like I belong. And for the last 3, 4, 5 months, I've been talking to my spouse about, I don't think I really belong here. And I need to find something else because I don't think this is helping me. Okay? Everybody recognizes that. Everybody sees, can hear that conversation in their own heads, right? Everybody can hear that conversation in their own hearts. You understand that feeling, right? Some of you have been there before. So we start to have a conversation. And we start to talk through this. The little voice jumps up on her shoulder and says, "Yeah, but if you leave, they're going to talk about you behind your back. If you leave, that just shows that you're not as loyal as you think you are." See, loyalty is one of those things that's a deep-seated, that's a deep thing, right? Loyal, loving, caring. Those are things that we carry deep down inside of us. Those are things when somebody says, "What kind of person are you?" They talk about that at your funeral, right? At the end of that dash, that last date, when they stand up and talk about Aaron Dwyer, I would love for them to say Aaron Dwyer was loyal. He was a loyal husband, loyal father, loyal this, loyal that. Don't know if they will, but I would love for them to say that because that sounds really, really good. Loyalty is one of those really cool virtues. So we carry that way deep down inside of us. So the little dude up here on her shoulder says, "Yeah, but if you leave, you're going to be disloyal. If you leave, they're going to talk about you behind your back." So she knows in her spirit what she wants. She knows there is another situation that's going to help her be the best version of her. That's going to help her grow her business, going to help her reach her dreams, going to help her provide for her family. They're going to allow her to be the hero of her story. She knows it's in another situation because she's a shark in an aquarium. And did you know you put a baby shark in an aquarium, it's never going to grow outside the walls of that aquarium? You put that same shark in the ocean and it'll grow to its fullest potential. We talked yesterday about your little box that you use to build around your past, and use your little box to sit in and kind of peek out of every now and again because you don't want to get out of there and get hurt. You're only going to grow as big as that box. Steve Morris says we only perform to the breadth and depth of our understanding of ourselves. And the challenge in this life is learning how to expand the breadth and the depth. The challenge of this life and how your story gets bigger is you go from sleeping in a subway bathroom to being one of the best stockbrokers on the New York Stock Exchange. You go from being told no, getting divorced, having your kid taken away from you, not having money to pay your bills, not having money to feed your family, not having money to live, living on the streets homeless, to being one of the best stockbrokers on the planet, making millions and millions and millions of dollars, selling your story to people to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. Do you see how this happens? So this person that we talked to, she knows what's in here. She knows she's not in the right spot. Yet her little voice up here is all, I'm not saying she's convinced, but her little voice up here says, "You probably ought to back it down just a little bit." And here's how we justify it. Because she knows in her guts what she ought to do. She knows in her guts what she ought to do. But she says, I need to talk to my husband. Anybody ever said that before? I need to pray about it. Anybody ever said that before? I need to think about this some more. Anybody ever said that before? Because guess what? This up here, little dude up here is in this up here. And little dude up here, he can justify anything you allow him to justify. And for yours may not be a little dude. Yours may be a little girl. Maybe a mean girl. Could be a nice girl. I don't know. It depends on the day. But it can justify whatever behavior you need to justify. If this person decides to stay where they are, this person will justify it for a minute. And then what they'll start saying, what the little voice will start saying is, "Man, you sure really should have made a move. You really probably should have taken a chance." Because they look like they're having a whole lot of fun. That looks like a cool place. That looks like someplace you could grow in. That looks like in the ocean, not an aquarium. Man, I'd love to be a big shark, but I'm just a little one. Who's going to be this person that I'm talking about, we had the conversation with yesterday, is just like y'all. There's somebody in her life who needs her to be the hero. There is somebody in her life who needs her to stand up. Go with this, because this thing doesn't lie to us. This core, your heart, this thing in here, where you feel the pain, where you feel the consequences, where you feel the butterflies, where you feel the guilt, where you feel all those things, that's in here, right about there. And you feel it in there, and you know what you're supposed to do, and then you let this talk you out of it. You let this justify not doing something. You let this justify something you're not supposed to be doing. Paul said it in Romans, I know what I'm supposed to do. I have a knowing what I'm supposed to do, yet I don't do it. And the things I should do, the things I shouldn't do, I do. And the things I should do, I don't do. That's the great battle here. Who's going to be the hero of your story? You are going to be the hero of your story. You have got to be the hero of your story. You must be the hero of your story. You have got to be the one that stands up in the face of the pain, in the face of the danger, in the face of the unknown, in the face of all the things that could, should, might happen. You got to be the one that stands up and does it anyway. And does it again, and does it again, and does it again, and consistently does it over and over and over, so the hard becomes easy. So that 20 minutes of running isn't as hard as it used to be. So that 20 minutes of running, you can now run further than you did 3 months ago. So I can make more phone calls, so I can have better conversations, so I can do the things I should be doing to be the hero in my story. That's what you got to do. So today, I'm going to encourage you. It's Friday, man. I'm going to encourage you, Exit Realty Lake Country agents. I'm going to encourage you, mentors, call your mentees, call your mentors, mentees, call another mentee. Spend some time together on the phone practicing. Practice what you're going to say to a client. Practice what you'd say to a seller. Practice your CMAs. Do something today that you think is hard. Stop talking about doing it. The more you talk about something being hard and not taking action on it, the harder it stays. Raise your hand if you remember me talking about 75 hard. I can't see your hands, but raise your hand if you remember me talking about wanting to go work out. Raise your hand if last year you heard me talking about things that I should be doing that I didn't do. I talked about it a lot, yet I never took action on it. And the action that I did take was close to getting started. It was almost getting started. It was maybe I'll get started. I never made the decision to go. Some of you do that every single day of your lives. You just don't commit. You just don't make the decision to go. You just do it with some of your ability, not all of your ability. I want you to have the picture in your spirit and in your heart. I want you to look and think about what a lion does when the lion wakes up. A lion wakes up when the sun rises and gets after it. He doesn't lay around bitching, doesn't lay around complaining about yesterday, doesn't lay around. I promise you, the lion is not waking up on Friday thinking about all the gazelles he missed on Thursday. I promise you, the lion is not waking up concerned with the fact that he got beat up on Wednesday. I promise you, the lion is not concerned with the fact that his mama, when he was a baby lion, made him chase gazelles before he was ready, and he hit a rock with his head. I promise you, the lion's not worried about any of that stuff. The lion's got one thing on his mind, and one thing only. Who's going to be the hero of your story? You've got to be the hero of your story. You got to be the one that gets out and gets it. You got to be the one that takes your past, knocks down the walls of that box, breaks it out of that aquarium. You got to be the one that stops making the excuses that you've made your entire life. You've got to change the way you talk to yourself. You've got to change the way you believe in yourself. You've got to change the way you look at yourself. You've got to change the people you hang out with if they're holding you down. You got to change the people that you call friends if those friends are the ones at your aquarium. You got to activate that thing deep down inside of you that everybody has. And you've got to fill in the dash between those dates with a hero story. I'm here to help you. Christy's here to help you. Exit Realty Lake Country is full of agents that are here to help you. This ain't just a real estate company. This is a group of people who will dig in the trench with you. These are the group of people who will go into battle with you. This is a group of people, if you'll allow them to be around you, will make you freaking better. Be the hero of your story today. Do something today that you show yourself you're the hero. Do something today where you prove to yourself that you're on a hero's path. Do something today that's in the direction of your dreams. Do something today that your children, that Violet, that Rhett and Riggs, that Daisy can look, that Dylan can look. Do something today where you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you today. I'm proud of you. That was freaking awesome. Do something today, man. It's going to be a beautiful day. I love you guys. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. I can't wait. We're getting so much closer to convention. I cannot wait to spend time with y'all at convention. We are going to have an absolutely amazing time in 2 weeks. I'm so happy for you guys that are going to be there. If you need us today, need us this weekend, please know we're around. But I have all the love in the world for you guys. All the love in the world for you guys. Thanks for getting up with me this morning. Thanks for doing this with us every single day. Thanks for being a part of my life. Thank you for being a part of Christy and I's life. Thank you for those of you in our company. Thank you for being a part of our company and continuing to try to spread this message and us trying to build this real estate industry a different way. So thank y'all. Love you guys. Be good. Be great. Be you. Be a hero today. Bye, y'all.